Hey friends, it's Deanna here today, and today we're working on the baby sack, and I am really excited. I have a little niece, and this is perfect. And I see you, Ellie and Mac, working on those baby patterns because I'm excited. I love baby patterns. They're so cute. They're so sweet for baby shower gifts and stuff like that. So I am excited. So before we get started, let me go ahead and remind you of our fun fan giveaway where we do a $50 Ellie and Mac gift certificate every month. And all you have to do is subscribe and comment below and let me know what you like about Ellie and Mac, what you like about our videos, if you have any questions, anything like that, just comment below and you will be entered to win that $50 Ellie and Mac gift certificate, which gives you a lot of patterns. So yes. Anyhow, so now we're going to go ahead and get started. I am going to do the snap version because I know some of us are scared of snaps. Hello, I'm scared of snaps. I used to be so scared of snaps. I'm a little bit less scared now, but yes, still sort of kind of scared. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and do the snap version. And let me get my scissors because they are over there in the corner. And I need them. Yeah. And we're going to do the snap version of the baby thingy. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, this is one of my fronts. This is the, like I said, snap version. So if you want to use some interfacing, you can go ahead and put the interfacing according to your manufacturer, whatever they tell you to do, how they tell you to put it on. I'm just steaming it on. Steaming it on. And I made my interfacing way too long. Sorry. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to fold the edge 1 inch first. See, 1 inch, yeah. I just want to make sure. I never make sure. I don't know why I was making sure. Because I don't want it to be too tight on my baby. Well, I'd say my sister's baby, but you know, she's my baby too. And then we're going to fold it again. So we folded it 1 inch once, and then we're going to fold it again. And now we're going to go ahead and top stitch that seam that we just made, that inch that we just folded over. We're going to go ahead and top stitch that. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Okay, so just a reminder, because I'm going to do it on the other one too. This is the arm side. This is where the armpit goes. So you're going on the inside, not where the armpit goes. This is the other side. I'm doing it to the other side as well. But we're going to do both sides. But this is the other side. This is the actual side where the inside part, where the belly goes. Where the cute little belly is, right here. Okay, so now I'm going to top stitch. And I'm using my cover stitch. But really you can use zigzag stitch on your sewing machine, double needle if you have it. Either one of those will work. But like I said, I am using my cover stitch. I just love a cover stitch. I saved up, it took me a little while to save up for it. They're a little bit more pricey than Serger or, that was my fault. I am really butchering this one. Oh. really like a cover stitch because of the finished stitching that it does. I'll show you. You see how it does the double lines already for you, and it's finished on the back. So I really liked it. So I saved up my money for it because I thought I need this. Okay, so now that we've got the front ready, if you're not doing snaps, this is where it's most of what it's different. You won't have to do this step. You would skip this step. You would move on to the next step. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to attach our shoulders together. So we're gonna put both of these fronts face up. If you don't have snaps, I feel like I have a hair on me. If you don't have snaps, then you would just put your front right here. This is where you would start. And we're gonna put these shoulders together. One shoulder, another shoulder. And then we're gonna go ahead and sew those shoulders on the raw edges. Right sides together, raw edges. See. My light broke on my machine, so I can't tell if it's on or not. So I just kind of have to try it out. I mean, I guess I could look at the on or off button. It says on or off on it, but... Or I could remember which side is on and which side is off. But I don't. Ooh, I stepped over a pattern piece. Okay. So my shoulders are on. And if you have a no snap option, you would just have one front, straight front. You wouldn't have all these little sides everywhere. So, now that I did the for the snap option, now that I did the shoulders, we'll go ahead and do the neckband. I'm gonna go right here to the back and mark my back. For the no snap option, you can wait for the neckband because this one, the reason why we're doing this neckband is because it comes right here to the front, so we're gonna tuck it into this. But for the other one, we're just gonna put it on as we do a regular neckband. And if you have any questions on how to do a regular neckband after we put the sleeves and we sew the sides on, then we have a great video for, that's just called Bands, I think it's what it's called. And it's a great video for, with a lot of tips on how to do bands. Okay, so I folded my wrong sides together. I'm gonna fold the edge over here and find my back. So like I said, if you're not doing the snap option, you can go ahead and move on to the next step, and you will do the neckband later. But this is the neckband we gotta do for the snap option. So I met the back, and I'm gonna meet the back with the back, right sides together. And then I'm gonna go towards the front. And with a band, you know you have to stretch it a little bit. So we're gonna make sure this little tippity top over here is at the end of the binding right here. And if you want to, which I might, I'm gonna go back and to the sewing machine, and it's suggested on the pattern that you baste the neckband edge on right here in at the end. And the reason being, a lot of times when we put in a neckband on, you kind of stretch it so it will come away from where it needs to be. So since this one needs to be right at the edge, if it comes away, it will not match up. So that will be kind of upsetting. So basting stitch, which is just a very long stitch, which is something that you can, after you're done, you can pull out. Come on, sewing machine. Did you get basted on? Sort of. Good enough. Let's see the other side. So just baste that on and use your clip, your little pen or your little clip. Well, obviously a pen because a clip won't work, but I like to use a pin and put it in there and kind of help the fabric along when it's getting stuck. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and sew that on. So you're gonna stretch from one end to the middle, and then you're gonna stretch from the other end to the middle. up from the middle to the other end, and we're sewing that on. Hopefully the band will stay there because you just basted it on. Make sure you grab in both edges. And then I'm gonna go to the other side. Again, you could have done it with just clips, but then sometimes it will slip off and you have this little piece hanging there and you won't look sharp. So that's why the basting. Later on, we'll pull that basting off. Ah, I left a little spot without serge. I hate it when I do that. And sometimes when I do that, I will go back with it upside down and just lightly get it. Then I'll have to tuck in another tail. But, or you can just do a zigzag stitch. What I did was I didn't catch both fabrics in, so I had a little piece. Okay, so later, see how it's kind of tight right there because of the, what do you call them things? Basting stitch. But when I pull the, I'm going to pull the basting stitch and then it should be just flush with the fabric right there and tuck those tails in, and then there it is. See, let me pull this basting stitch out so you can see. Pull the basting stitch out, turn it, and it's flushed with the fabric. Okay, so that is where your front is. And you steam that band up and the back down. So then when you tuck it in, it goes on the back. If you want to top stitch that, you can, but you don't have to. Okay, so now we move on to our sleeves. If you want to go ahead and do your neckband too, actually, because if you have no snap option, if you have a no snap option, you just have a circle. So you'll just put your neckband on the circle like a regular neckband. So you can, if you're having a hard time with that, you quarter and you attach. But if you need some help, just put a comment below and I'll give you the link to that other video. I'm going to put the sleeves on, and I notch the top of the sleeve in the corner to show me where the corner of the sleeve is, and that's where I'm going to put it, right here. And then I'm going to go to one side, and it's such a tiny little thing that really I'm just going to one side and pin in one pin, and then I'm going to the other side and pin in one pin. I'm not putting a bunch of pins because it's a tiny neck. It's a tiny arm. Neck. That's not a neck. Who are you making this for? This is so cute. So I'm going to start a little bit. Again, these are right sides together. And we made that mark to at the top of the shoulder. Shoulder mark we made. And now we're going to the other one. Okay, and there's a sleeve on. And I should have probably done the other sleeve at the same time, because I like to do the sleeves at the same time. That way I get them done both at the same time. So usually I'll go ahead and clip both of them and pin them at the same time. That way they'll be done. So, yeah. Pin, pin, pin. This is gonna be so super cute. All right, same for the other sleeve. I tell you, I'm using, I know you all, they're with my elastic, I better get it. I know you all ask me usually what I'm using fabric wise. This is Cotton Lycra, and again I missed a spot because I was too busy paying attention to other details. I'm just all over the place. Okay, so this is Cotton Lycra, and I love working with Cotton Lycra when it comes to baby stuff because it's really soft, but like I love double brush poly and stuff like that, but it gets a little bit hot, and I feel like Cotton Lycra is just so sweet. Especially some Cotton Lycra is sweeter than others, and I like the really sweet stuff. So now we're gonna go ahead and fold right sides together, put right sides together. We're gonna start at the armpit. We're gonna meet up the armpit on the sides. We're gonna sew those sides together. Right sides together to the raw edge. Meet up the sleeves all the way down. And then meet up the sides all the way down. All the way down. He said, don't start singing. Oh, I already did. Ah, why tomato? All right, I'm gonna do the same on the other side. We are actually sewing this whole thing together. It's really easy and straightforward. I always used to be scared of sewing new things because I thought, my word, I can't, you know, and snaps and all this stuff. Like, I just want it to be simple. Just give me the simple version. Here came Ellie and Mac, and they give you the simple version. It's so great. You get a great, beautiful garment, and so easy, so easily. And who can beat their deals and all the instructions, how great and detailed they are. It's awesome. And I know you always ask me what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Tress Belle with the half circle skirt. So cute. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sew this right sides together. Finish sewing this side, I'm gonna sew the other side, and then we'll come back and finish the rest of it up. We're almost done. All right, so my sides are sewn together, and now I placed my sack facing up, and I'm placing my front, top, and bottom right on top of each other, where my facing is for my snaps, where my snaps are gonna go. I'm gonna grab my pattern piece. I'm going to match up where all my snaps are supposed to go. And what I've done is, what I usually do is I go ahead and just break that little spot right there and go ahead and mark where my snap is gonna go. So now I have that little mark right there with my owl, whatever it's called. So it's my mark for my snaps. So I got my snaps right here. So snaps are really easy to put on. You just follow your instruction manual that it tells you how to put them on. But these ones are the ones, just the plastic ones. I like the middle ones and they're cute, but I like the plastic ones for baby stuff, so I don't know why. But anyway, so we're gonna put the top, go up from the front, for the front one, up, and then the little snappity thing on the back behind it. And then it comes with this little handy thing. I need you on. It comes with this little handy thing, and you just, as long as your snappy thing doesn't fall off, you just press it on. And one is on, the top is on, and then the back, you come from the back, the bottom one, you come from the back. and then you put the other side of the snap on, and then you push it in and attach it, and that is it. Snap is on. I put 2 snaps on, 1, 2, and I'll do the rest later, but I just kind of wanted to show you how easy snaps really are. There's nothing to be afraid of, really. So we're gonna move on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep it straight. Right now, if you finished all your snaps, you should have that straight line right here. And we're gonna go right here. If you're doing the snap option, you will grab the front and back right here at the end and just baste them together so they don't come apart when you're trying to sew the elastic on. So I'm just gonna baste them together. Again, baste is just a straight, long straight stitch that is just placed there. It's just holding it together, and later you'll pull that off. So it's just for help. But if you're doing the no snap option, this will be your step as well. You wouldn't have to do that part, the folding it together. You would just move on to this next step. So we're gonna go ahead and fold 1/4 from the bottom all the way around, 1/4 inch. Call it 1/4, but it's a 1/4 inch. And then after you fold and steam 1/4 inch, I'll tell you, I love Cotton Lycra, but I don't love working with the edge of Cotton Lycra. It likes to roll, you know? Here's my scissors. I'm gonna clip this little tail off. So we're folding 1/4 inch and steaming. We're almost done. All the way around. And then after we do the 1/4 inch steam, okay, 1/4 inch steam, we're gonna go ahead and fold 1/2 inch. So 1/4 inch, then 1/2 inch. And that is gonna create a casing. Now with this 1/2 inch, I'm going to pin where that 1/2 inch is. If you wanna measure, you can. I don't measure. Probably not good. But I feel like I'm kind of used to what the measurement, what 1/2 inch looks like, what a 1/4 inch looks like, so I just kind of do it. But yeah. So you're steaming down 1/2 inch. So it's kind of like when you do a woven pattern, you work with wovens, which wovens are just like the non-stretch fabrics. When you work with the non-stretch fabrics, you usually have to do a double fold. But usually it's 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. But this one was 1/4 and 1/2 because we're going to create a casing. We're going all the way around, 1/4 and then 1/2. And that's where we're going to create that casing for our elastic to go in. And actually, if you're looking at my steaming, you're probably thinking, that looks a little bit bigger than 1/4 and 1/2. So I'm trying. Should be fine. I am actually making this a little bit bigger than what my niece is, hopefully. I measured her. But you know, it seems to me like babies grow overnight. Does that seem like to you? My baby is all grown up. About to start 3rd grade. That's crazy. Anyway, so that was actually this one was pretty big. That's not 1/2 inch. That's like a whole inch. I saw that. I'm moving it down. No worries. Okay, and then when we're gonna go ahead and top stitch that down. Zigzag stitch, double needle. I'm using my cover stitch. And then you're going to leave like a 2-inch opening where we're gonna fit our elastic. So don't sew it all the way shut all the way because you wanna have a spot where you're gonna leave your elastic. I'm gonna start over here at almost at the bottom of my fabric right here, just so I can catch those first. There we go. And I'm going to lift this up and pull it out. Wait a minute. And I'm going to leave a gap for my elastic, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish it up. And then you will come back and close that gap after you put the elastic in. And then you ask how, like with a cover stitch, since you're sewing from the other side, how can you tell that you're right? There is the lines for the measurements. So you just have to be pretty precise on how you fold your fabric. But also, as I'm sewing, I can feel with my other finger, I feel where my fabric is at. Then that way I know, oh, my fabric is not quite there yet. Better push my needle all the way up. And so I can move it down a little bit. All right. So my bottom hem is basically done. Oh, I just flipped it over. And I'm gonna go ahead and fit that elastic in. Here's my elastic. And I'm using just a safety pin because I still haven't found my tool. I'm just gonna fit it through that gap that I left somewhere. Here it is. And then after I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and sew that elastic together, overlap it 1/4 quarter inch, and sew it together. I use a zigzag stitch to sew it together. And then you go back over that gap that you left, the 2-inch gap that you left. Honestly, it doesn't really even have to be 2 inches. Just be enough space for the elastic to go through. And since we're using 3/8 inch elastic, doesn't really need to be that big. It's just leaving a 2-inch, it's kind of easier because it just fits nicer, quicker. You don't have to worry about it too much. Almost there. This is like the hardest part of the whole project, getting the elastic to go all the way through. This is a part that's gonna make me sweat. I'm glistening. Also, it's the fact that the sun is now coming out. I am up really early. I have to work today, and I wanted to make this for my niece before I go over there. Well, actually, yes, I'm gonna go by my niece's house before I go to work. Not my niece's house, my sister's house, but it's my niece's house now. Okay, so I'm gonna zigzag stitch this 1/4 inch overlap. And I just go back and forth with my zigzag. Back and forth with my zigzag, and then it's done. Oop, my scissors don't want to close. Fit it in, and then go back and sew that little spot right there. And you are done with your sack. As long as you have done all your snaps. Oh, you're not all the way done. You got to do your hem. 1/2 inch allowance on your sleeve hem. You fold 1/2 inch in and sew. That's not quite 1/2 inch. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this sleeve hem and then we'll be done. And I have to try to get you a picture of my little niece wearing it. She is adorbs. You're gonna be like, oh, so sweet. And then I like to see your make. So if you haven't joined us on our Facebook or our Instagram page, I encourage you to come join us. If you have a Facebook or an Instagram, we'd love to see your makes. We have, at Instagram, we have a spotlight, fan day, and get to be on our story. So go check it out. All the information on where you can check that out, where our Instagram and Facebook page is below. The information is below. Okay, so I'm gonna hem that, but before I get, oh my goodness, look at this thing, it's so cute. I'm gonna show you how to make our little hat. So I've got my liner and I've got my outer. How cute. And we're gonna put it right sides together, our outer and our liner. So our liner right sides together and our outer right sides together. And this is my outer, that's my liner. But you know what? It doesn't matter because it's gonna end up being reversible. And so then after you do that, we're going to sew all the way around the cap. But on your liner or whichever it is, you're gonna leave a space to turn it around on one only. So you're gonna sew all the way around, leave a 2-inch gap on the one that you wanna turn around. You can usually do your liner, but it doesn't really matter because it's gonna be reversible. So it's up to you. See how easy it is to sew a little baby bean. Alright, so we've got it all sewn up. Now, after we sew them, we're going to put them right on top of each other. Here's this one, the liner, outer. I'm going to tuck it right in to the liner. See my gap right here? I have my little gap right here. We're going to meet them at the bottom, their bottom raw edge. Pin where those sides are. Right here. And then we're going to sew that bottom raw edge shut. You can use your serger, your zigzag stitch. Oh good. We're sewing those raw edges together. And really, you shouldn't have to stretch or anything because they should just match up. You cut them out of the same pattern. I basically just put a pin there to meet the seams because I can get a little messy. Alright, so now that we went all the way around, we're going to grab it and we're going to turn them out from that hole that you left. And then we're going to sew this little piece that we left out. We're going to fold it in. We're going to go on top of it and sew it shut. So just a little, either a little straight stitch with matching thread. If you're using double brush poly, you really don't have to leave that big of a gap because it would help if I did it close. There we go. Now we're going to tuck that in, or liner in. And we have a little hat. How cute is this thing? You can go ahead and steam that and it'll help those little bumps. I just didn't steam it because I was just so excited to show you. How cute is this thing? This little tiny baby hat. Anyway, I hope you had a good time with our sew along today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you make many of them and come and show it to us because I love to see them. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you all next time. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe right now. Comment below so you can be entered for a giveaway. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.